Hi everyone, it is Atia here at Booking It with Atia, and today we're getting into something a little bit special. This is day one of my Kwanzaa book recommendations. So for the entire week of Kwanzaa this year, I will be dropping 7 book recommendations by Black authors and starring Black characters that go along with the principle of the day. And you might be wondering, like, what even is Kwanzaa? And that's where Atia of the past is going to come in and help us. Created by Dr. Malana Karinga in 1966, Kwanzaa is a week-long African-American and Pan-African holiday taking place December 26th through January 1st. Kwanzaa celebrates family, community, and culture and blends communitarian values and the practices of continental African and African American cultures. Each day of the week-long holiday focuses on one of the Nguzo Saba, or the 7 principles. Before we dive into these recommendations, I do want to encourage you to check out my Etsy shop or my bonfire, where you can get yourself some bookmarks or some merch, as well as maybe consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon member. Anything helps to further support the channel, and it's always appreciated. Now to dive into these recommendations. So the first principle, or today's principle, because this is coming out on December 26th, is Umoja, or unity. And I have 7 Black authored books that focus on the principle, or not focus on, but they have heavy themes of the principle of Umoja, or unity. And so starting off with Those Beyond the Wall by Micaiah Johnson. Faced with a coming apocalypse, a woman must reckon with her past to solve a series of sudden and inexplicable deaths in a searing sci-fi thriller from the Compton Crook Award-winning author of The Space Between Worlds. Scales is the best at what she does. She is an enforcer who keeps the peace in Ashtown, a rough, climate-ravaged desert town. But that fragile peace is fractured when a woman is mangled and killed within Ash's borders, right in front of Scales' eyes. Even more incomprehensible is that there was seemingly no murderer. When more mutilated bodies start to turn up both in Ashtown and in the wealthier walled-off Wiley City, Scales is tasked with finding the cause and putting an end to it. She teams up with a frustratingly by-the-books partner and a brusque but brilliant scientist in order to uncover the truth, delving into both worlds to track down the invisible killer. But what they find points to something bigger and more corrupt than they could have ever foreseen, and it could spell doom for the entire world. The second book up on this recommendations list is The Deadly Fates by Danielle Clayton. This is the 3rd book in the Marvelers series. I have edited and trimmed the synopsis a little bit so it doesn't give away any spoilers of the last 2 books. When Ella, Bridget, and Jason return for their 3rd year at the Arcanum Training Institute, they discover a dark plot brewing. Secrets and deception surround the magic school's founders, and the trio will stop at nothing to find out what really happened to the Institute's enigmatic conjure architect. As they dive deeper into the mystery, it leads them to the underworld in the Cards of Deadly Fate, a seemingly impenetrable prison full of villains. Up next is Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. Milkman Dead was born shortly after a neighborhood eccentric hurled himself off a rooftop in a vain attempt at flight. For the rest of his life, he too will be trying to fly. As Morrison follows Milkman from his Rust Belt city to the place of his family's origin, she introduces an entire cast of strivers and seeresses, liars and assassins, the inhabitants of a fully realized Black world. Then we have Sky Full of Elephants by Sybil Campbell. One day, a cataclysmic event occurs. All the white people in America walk into the nearest body of water. A year later, Charlie Brunton is a Black man living in an entirely new world. Having served time in prison for a wrongful conviction, he's now a professor of electric and solar power systems at Howard University when he receives a call from someone he wasn't even sure existed: his daughter, Sydney, a 19-year-old left behind by her white mother and step-family. Traumatized by the event and terrified of the outside world, Sydney has spent a year in isolation in Wisconsin. Desperate for help, she turns to the father she never met, a man she has always resented. Sydney and Charlie meet for the first time as they embark on a journey across a truly post-racial America in search for answers, but neither of them are prepared for this new world and how they see themselves in it. Book number 6 is A Breathless Sky by Veronica G. Henry. This is actually, the synopsis I'm going to read is the synopsis of book 1, which is The Canopy Keepers. Sarah Carthan doesn't know why she accepted a job as the first female fire chief at Sequoia National Park, where decades earlier, a forest fire killed her parents. That day, her brother, Romello, disappeared, as if pulled into the scorched earth itself. Sarah has always had an uncanny affinity for the natural wonders of the park she protects. But after she sanctions a prescribed burn that goes terribly wrong, she quits her position in disgrace. However, when another devastating wildfire breaks out, Sarah, reluctantly pulled back into action, discovers an unknown world that has existed underground since the beginning of time. The secret society built around the forest's complex root system is now divided into 2 factions. One is ruled by the Keeper, the giant sequoia's benevolent caretaker, the other by a mysterious undoer, who's determined to wage war on humanity. Through him, nature can retaliate and wipe out the Earth's careless ravagers for good. Okay, now the actual 6th book, because that was book number 5. Oh my gosh. The actual book 6 is Alex Wise versus The Cosmic Shift by Terry J. Benton Walker. This is another one that is a sequel. So I've trimmed the synopsis to get rid of any spoilers. No one ever said saving the world would be easy. In the second installment of this thrilling fantasy series, all about finding your inner hero, a 12-year-old boy leads the charge against the horsemen of the apocalypse. Alex Wise is no superhero, or at least he doesn't feel like one, but the apocalypse shows no signs of slowing down. Now, Alex and his friends will have to find new allies and face new dangers. From battling a giant snake in a literal ghost town and infiltrating the horsemen's new home base on the Vegas Strip on the back of a dragon. With everyone looking to him for answers, Alex isn't sure he's cut out for this world-saving thing. How can Alex lead a team if he doesn't even feel like he deserves to be part of it? Then we have the final book of day 1's recommendations, and that is Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. The synopsis we're going to read is actually from the first book, which is Amari and the Night Brothers, because the synopsis for the book 3 had like so many spoilers, which makes sense. Amari Peters has never stopped believing her missing brother Quentin is alive, not even when the police told her otherwise, or when she got in trouble for standing up to bullies who said he was gone for good. So when she finds a ticking briefcase in his closet containing a nomination for a summer tryout at the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, she's certain the secretive organization holds the key to locating Quentin. If only she can wrap her head around the ideas of magicians, fairies, aliens, and other supernatural creatures all being real. Now she must compete for a spot against kids who've known about magic their whole lives. No matter how hard she tries, Amari can't seem to escape their intense doubt and scrutiny, especially once her supernaturally enhanced talent is deemed illegal. With an evil magician threatening the supernatural world and her own classmates thinking she's an enemy, Amari has never felt more alone. But if she doesn't stick it out and pass the tryouts, she may never find out what happened to Quentin. And those are the 7 book recommendations that I have for day 1 of these Kwanzaa recommendations. These all have heavy themes of Umoja, unity, and I've read all of these. Like, when I give book recommendations, it's always books that I've read already. I wholeheartedly recommend and say all 7 of these books are absolutely excellent. I think out of the 7, I have given at least 4 of them 5 stars, and the other ones are like 3 or 4. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you have clicked the bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video, because you will have a video coming out tomorrow, and that is going to be all about Kuti Chakalia, or self-determination book recommendations. Thank you so much for watching once again. Make sure to check out all of my links, including my bonfire and my Etsy shop. If you want to support the channel even more, you can become a Patreon or a community member. Check out my Discord. All of my socials are linked down below. And I will see you in another video. Bye!
Showing. I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me.